Brandon, you've been particularly effective at the end of games, really all season, starting with the first game. Could you just talk about your mindset when you go out there in situations like last Saturday?
That's a situation we practice every Thursday, go through a 2-minute drill. And it's just, having the mindset that we're going to get it done. It's not a very complicated 2-minute system that Coach Borges has. He likes to keep it nice and simple and just run a handful of plays, and we get really good at those handful of plays and go out there and execute.
You've been around long enough to know what's at stake when you play LSU. It's typically whoever wins this game can control their destiny in the SEC West. Can you talk about the coaches? I think most of the players, the young ones who don't know about Baton Rouge and heading out to Baton Rouge, what the implications are in your own arms and heading to Baton Rouge, the kind of environment you're heading into?
Yeah, this is going to be a turning point of our season right here. If we win this, we're in the driver's seat, and if not, we're going to have some help. So, it's a very big game to see who goes to Atlanta and then play down in Baton Rouge. Go and play in Florida helped get those young guys ready. It's going to be a similar environment, but it's going to be a little more intense, and there's a lot more riding on this game.
Brandon, you guys have spread the field in a couple of games and other times just tried to play very physical. What do you think is the true identity of this offense right now?
It's just being physical, out physical than the other team. And, we've done that in the games that we've won. We've been more physical than the other team, and LSU's one of the most physical teams in the SEC. So we're going to have to pick up our game offensively and pick up the intensity level and be more physical.
Do you think a team like LSU becomes more dangerous after an upset, after being upset the week before?
Yeah, it's typical. I know we played better last year when we got beat by Arkansas and came out and played against Florida. Played a good game. So, I know they're not going to take us lightly. They're looking forward to the game, especially after coming off the loss, and they'll be up for the game. So we'll have to be ready.
Do you come to the line looking for where Dorsey is?
Yeah, he's definitely the strength of their defense, but they're all their guys are very capable of making plays, and their defense is really good. There's not any weaknesses on their defense. So yeah, he's the strength, but all of them have very good strengths.
Running back to the end of games again. What do you do to keep everybody calm? Because a lot of your teammates talk about that, that you keep everybody kind of calm down.
Yeah, I just go out there and take it, like it's any other drive. Don't worry about the time on the clock, and just go out there and do what we have to do. Really don't say much in the huddle. Don't tell them, we have to do this, we have to do that, or don't do this. Just go out there and control it like it's any other drive.
Brandon, Bonzi went out there last week, obviously not 100%. What did it say to you about what the kind of guy he is to be able to play through that?
Yeah, he definitely, I knew throughout the week that he wasn't 100%. If he played, he wasn't going to be 100%. Just seeing him off the field, he limping around, but I know once you get into that game, the adrenaline kicks in, and it's a lot easier to go. But for him to play through that just shows, the determination he has, and just his willingness to put it on the line for the team.
Talk about Montez getting back out there and becoming a bigger part of the offense.
Yeah, Montez, he's been a very reliable receiver for us, and behind Rod, Rod's been our go-to guy, and I think Montez been since he's been back, been our next most reliable guy. And he had a few big catches last week, and I think you're going to see him get some more catches throughout the season because coaches are getting more confidence in him. I am, other players are, so I think you'll see him out there a little more.
You growing more padding right here, or is it too sort of?
Yeah, I got some stitches right here, so I can't really do too much.
How many stitches did you get? How many stitches?
6.
Was that on a helmet to helmet hit?
Yeah.
Well, they got them?
Yeah.
So the Fu Manchu is intentional.
Yeah.
You guys win, you keep growing it?
Huh?
You guys win, you got to keep growing it out?
No, I get them out next Sunday, so that'll be it.
Do you have anything else to say about it?
Any more questions?
Brandon, do you feel like Saturday, that you were at the end, Feel like you're always gonna get it done?
Yeah, I knew we had over a minute and a half, and once our return team got up near the 50, I knew we only had to take it maybe 20 yards. So I was very confident in us getting the job done. If it had been, if our return team wouldn't have got it, we had started on the 20. It'd been a little tougher. But once we got it out that far, I knew it wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Brandon, what do you remember about your last trip to Baton Rouge? Just the atmosphere.
It was, an eye-opener. First game I played in on the road was Arkansas, and it really wasn't that bad. And then we got to Baton Rouge, and just you couldn't hear anything out on the field. Communication, there wasn't any. And we still played a good game and came up a little short, but we're gonna have to play better than we did then. And it's just about taking the crowd out of the game. And going to Florida was a good way to get ready for it. Our young guys have been through it, so it won't be as bad this time.
Remember the bus getting, people taking the bus and old lady booing you guys?